Hello, I'm Dr. Jensen, and I'm your instructor with CCJ3701, Research Methods in Criminology, which is a required class for your major, hopefully one of your last requirements that you have to do. So this is your welcome video, and we'll jump right into class so you can get started. So I'm up here in the corner now, and I'll be moving my video around just a little bit as we talk, but welcome to class. So first, what to expect. I'll tell you a little bit about me. We have no textbook for this class. We will talk about class goals and what you will learn, expectations of you, what you should expect from me, others that will be involved in the class, and also how to be successful. So this is me. I joined the University of Florida in fall of 2017. So this is going on 2 years now, a little over 2 years. And I'm relatively new, but really excited to be in the Department of Sociology, Criminology, and Law. I did my PhD at the University of Oklahoma, go Sooners, and then I did 2 master's degrees, one at Louisville in social work, and the other one in liberal arts in sociology and political science and economics at Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas. I also did my bachelor's degree there in sociology. So I previously taught at Brigham Young University for over 7 years, at the associate professor rank. I came here to Florida for a lot of reasons, but my highest rated course while I was there was Social Statistics and Research Methods, which is this class you are taking, and it is still my highest rated course, so I'm very proud to offer it and teach it to you. I recently won a teaching award. Thank you, students, for nominating me, and it's more than my effort, it's your effort too. I think it takes students and professor to be successful and make things work. And I was really excited to receive that award this past summer. And it's hard to get a teaching award when you teach online, but again, I was so excited, and I'm very, very grateful for those that have had me before, that nominated me. And I hope to continue to earn your respect and to give you that respect back as a student. As I said, it's a partnership, and I truly want to do whatever I can to help you learn in this required class that's definitely a toughie. Okay, so first, I'm like you. My online master's degree in social work was just a couple of years ago. It was 3 years as an online master's student. It was difficult. I had to juggle family and work responsibilities, and I was doing homework in hotel rooms on the go, trying to get stuff done, watching videos, trying to get Wi-Fi connections to work. It's challenging. So I've been on the other side of the keyboard as a student, being an online student. And I know many people are set in where they live, where their work and family are, and they can't move. They can't live in Gainesville. Maybe you're in another country or another state or city, and this is the way you're going to be a Gator. Your degree is the same degree as any student that's on campus. So first of all, I honor you and I congratulate you for making that choice. It takes a lot of discipline to be an online student, and I know that firsthand. So where I've worked, practiced, and partnered. So I've actually worked in juvenile probation offices, in drug courts, health and welfare as a statistician. I've worked with juvenile justice and shelters, been to about 15 different prisons and jails, sheriff's offices, metropolitan law enforcement, and I've taken students to police academies before, as well as to Washington, D.C. many times on federal law enforcement career expeditions. So I've done lots of different things and worked in a lot of places. And if you have questions about these areas as you get ready to go into new employment or graduate opportunities, I'd be happy to talk with you about them. So again, no textbook. This is where we're going to get into the tips and tricks for how to be successful in class. So this is hands-on learning. Materials for your learning are mostly from articles and best practices. I kind of teach you through video as we go, especially as we use our software program for the statistics in this class. So research methods and statistics is really taught in an applied manner, like you're in a job. So treat this class like a workshop that's required for your job, where you have to basically take a session, learn a skill, and then demonstrate you know how to do the skill. That's what it's going to feel like most of the time. We do not have discussion boards, but we will have regular communication time. So please call me so that I can know what's going on, what you're struggling with. I have worked on data and variables and troubleshooted problems, over the phone on weekends, at night. So please don't be afraid to call me. This is kind of like a math class, and sometimes you need that real-time help. One suggestion I received from students a few semesters ago is to use dual monitors, or at the very minimum, a phone or a tablet that will let you stream video. And have that next to your computer as you work on your lab or as you work on your research projects and papers for class. Because I often will narrate to you the steps you need to do, or I will show you the menu paths and the click options of how to run a function. And if I'm kind of right next to you on a video screen, you can pause me, you can skip around in the video to right where you need to be, and then actually do it on your computer. So people have found that really helpful. So if you don't have dual monitors, try even just a smartphone or a tablet to have me nearby. Our class goals. Well, first of all, my class goal is to watch this video because last semester I had almost 40 students, but only about 18 to 20 watched this video. And I felt like they got a big running start in front of everybody in the class. They knew what was expected. They knew what they needed to do to get prepared. They got their software on time. They started digging into their labs. They knew what the class was about and what they'd have to produce at the end. And those are the students that got B's and A's, right? The ones that struggled kind of didn't quite catch on to what the whole class was about and really what they were going to have to put into it. So first of all, congratulate yourself on watching the welcome video and getting the tips and tricks and really figuring out what it's going to take to do well in class. So the goal is to get you comfortable using SPSS, to provide you the basics of social research, especially as they pertain to studying crime. So how do we know what we know? How do we know what the crime rate is? How do we get that data and that information? How do we study it? We could study it in a lot of ways. So this class will help you see all the different ways that we get information about the world. It's going to bring your skills together into a paper or research report. That's a big, big paper that's required for class by the major and also by the university. So my expectations of you do need to use SPSS software. SPSS is statistical package for the social sciences. And I'll show you in a minute how to get access to that. You need to be very hands-on and active. This is one of the most active learning classes you've had in the whole major. Please communicate often and early for help. Don't wait till the last minute to do a lab or work on a project. Start it early. And that way when you have questions, you can ask them along the way and not be stressing at the last minute before it's time to turn it in. This is a 4-credit class. Preparation on skills, practice labs, and a final paper. I ask students, and it's pretty consistent, they spend about 12 to 16 hours a week in this class. Some more, very few less. So put that time, that kind of time and preparation in your brain ahead of time that you're going to need to carve out some time out of your week to do this class. It's a bigger credit class than probably most of the classes you take at UF, so it requires a little more time and work. It's kind of like a lecture class plus a lab rolled into one for the 4 credits. This is also required for your major. You have to pass it in order to be a criminology major, so please take it seriously so you don't have to retake it in the future if you don't pass. If you do, it's okay, you can still retake it, but I always want people to do as well as they can on the first attempt. This course also meets the University of Florida Gordon Rule, which means you have to accomplish 24,000 words of research and writing in order to graduate. So this is one of the biggest contributors you'll have to that writing requirement on your degree audit. You must also complete a 20 to 25 page original research paper to pass the course. Don't worry, we write as we go. So we're going to write sections along the way, give you a chance to get feedback from myself and from TAs and lots of comments so that way you can improve the draft, and then you'll put all the little sections together and you'll have a final paper to turn in with all of your improvements. So just make sure you stay on task with that. And I realize that that's the biggest paper some people have ever written. They're going, I've never written a 25-page paper for any class in college, and I don't know if I can do it. It's not going to feel like you're writing one page at a time. We're doing section by section, and then suddenly as you put them all together, you're going to realize you have a big paper. So it's going to be very organic how it happens. So what should you expect from me? I try to respond to emails within 24 to 48 hours. I will at least try to acknowledge that I got your message if I can't respond to you right away. So I try to be very on top of my inbox and make sure you hear back. I have graduate teaching assistants that are going to help me with some grading and also some commenting on your drafts and papers. So you'll have hopefully 2 sets of eyes on a lot of the things that you do to give you comments. I'm available for phone calls, for Skype sessions, or FaceTime troubleshooting if I have to look at your screen while you're asking me questions about what you see or what to do. Please, again, don't be shy. I am one of those online faculty that you can call on the phone. I give you a Google Voice number so that way I don't have to give out my cell to everybody, but that is why I do that, because I want you to call me, and I set aside time in my week for you to do so. I also serve as the UF Online Criminology Advisor with Jody Lane. So you'll probably work with me on your degree audit, on your exit exam, your plan to graduate, enrollment and registration for classes, advising. So you'll probably be seeing me in more than one capacity. And for that purpose, I do have in-person office hours in Turlington on Tuesdays from 10:15 to 1 p.m. And there's my office number there on the screen. But most of the time you can reach me virtually, meaning just via phone call or email. I set aside my 9 to noon, my morning every single day, Monday through Friday, to be available to you. So I'm always working during that time and I'm always available. I also need to provide you reassurance when you make mistakes, because that's how we learn. And that's why you're here, especially in a data class. It's kind of inevitable. You're going to recode a variable wrong. You're going to use the wrong data set. You're going to get the wrong answer. That happened to me all the time. So I'm here to help you pick up the pieces and not stress out when things go wrong. So now I'm going to take you into SPSS. So some of you have been in SPSS before. It's called Statistical Package for the Social Sciences. You can use the free version paid for by your fees at University of Florida, located at apps.ufl.edu. So it'll bring you to a page that looks kind of like this. You sign in with your GatorLink user ID and password, and then you have lots of different applications that you can launch on your desktop to use for class. So again, this is free, paid for. You can use that. I'll also show you another version you can buy, which is optional. So the version that you can buy is located at onthehub.com, and this is the On the Hub e-store. So this will let you download the software package for free if you would just like to have your own copy to use for either 6 or 12 months. Again, you can use the free version provided by the university, but some people don't always feel as sure about their internet connection and how consistent it is, so they feel a little bit more comfortable actually having a kind of hard install on their hard drive that they can open anytime they want. So let me show you this website. So here's On the Hub. And on their website at onthehub.com, you can see they have SPSS Statistics 26. That's one of the later versions. I think version 25 is available from University of Florida. They both work just fine. But yeah, you can actually go to scroll down on the website, click on SPSS. You will be brought to a page here that says you can buy it, but there's a certain version you want to buy. So you want to buy, you can either buy the version 25 or the version 26 grad pack. I would just buy whatever version you can afford, but as long as it's the grad pack, you're fine. So I'm going to click on 24 just for example's sake. And you can see here, there's a drop down that says, do you want it for Windows or for Mac? So you look at which one you're using, and then you have different prices. You want the standard grad pack for either Windows or Mac, either the 6-month or the 12-month rental. Do not get the base, okay? The base does not have enough functions for what you're going to be doing in class. So you need the standard grad pack, okay? It says standard in the title, and then you add to cart. There might be a download fee that comes with it, but these rentals are basically educationally priced for students at schools and universities. In order to be eligible to purchase this from the e-store, you have to have a .edu email address. So as you get ready to check out, it's going to ask you to verify who you are and what school you attend. So you need to use your UFL email as you do that process. So essentially, that's how you buy the software and install it on your machine. If you have any questions or challenges with that, they have a really great help desk that can help you. Okay, so that's On the Hub, but again, that's just if you want to install a copy on your hard drive. You're welcome to use the apps.ufl.edu freeware. So wrapping up, how to be successful, really treat this class like a capstone and a training course for your criminology career, it's very important to keep a data log. So I ask students, run to the store, pay $1 and get like a spiral bound notebook. So you can kind of do your jottings of when you're in 20 different variables and you got to keep track of what numbers they are. And you just need kind of some scratch paper to be writing stuff down when you're running your analyses, because oftentimes it's just too many details to keep track of and you just need something to kind of jot something down on because you're changing screens constantly. So if you keep a data log and kind of write down your notes, it'll show you where you left off and it'll help you keep track of what you're doing so you don't have to start over, because that is agonizing to have to do that just because you can't find out what variable you were on or what step you were on in a lab and you're just pulling your hair out trying to get it done. Make sure you dedicate time each week to this class. Like I said, it is required. And when people start casually going through the modules and stop watching the videos, it's very obvious to me. I can actually see those analytics on Canvas. I can see who's watching what video and who's actually putting in time on pages. And there's a direct correlation with your grade. So people start really struggling as they stop engaging with the class. So not watching a video is equivalent to ditching a class. You're lost, you don't know what's going on, you stop doing assignments, you don't turn things in, and before you know it, you're failing. And I just don't want that to happen to any of you. So just be super diligent about dedicating that time each week for class. Also, make sure you install or obtain your software early. For most of you, that's going to mean just making sure you know how to log into apps.ufl.edu and that everything is being launched properly and you can do it. For others, you may prefer to buy that software and just make sure you take care of that. But again, that's optional. You don't have to. Occasionally, students will ask me for suggestions on maybe some help books for SPSS. I would say 90% of students in the class can get an A without them, but some people just want a few more screenshots and a little bit of extra help. There are plenty out there like SPSS for Dummies and stuff like that that show you lots of screenshots. You can get them if you want to, but I really try to show you step by step how to do all the different skills. So those are also available as well. Make sure you use good file storage habits and naming conventions for your files. You're going to be in 12 different data files throughout this class, and you're going to want to save stuff that you make and things you do in those files. There is actually student file storage called the M drive, which gives you permanent file storage at UF that I'll teach you in videos how to use. Or again, you can save it on your hard drive and access it later if you're using a hard copy on your client, your hard drive. So just make sure you keep track of what file you're in, like use a numbering system or a naming convention that shows you the latest, greatest version of your data. Save and save often. So that you don't lose track of anything. Occasionally there are system timeouts or server crashes, and it would be a shame to lose stuff that you built inside data that I teach you how to do because of that. So just have a good habit of saving. Also be really honest with me. What works, what doesn't, what's confusing? Do we need an extra video on something? This really is unclear, or I can't find this one little step in your video and I just want a video on this part. I can do that for you on the fly. I'm happy to do so. It's not an inconvenience for me at all. Keep in mind, I have 100 videos in this course. They walk you through every lab, every project, every inch of that research paper we do together as if we're side by side in class. So if you dedicate yourself to watching those videos and going along step by step for everything, you're going to do great. And reach out. This class is a tough one. I think it's the toughest in the major. So just make sure you stay dedicated to it, and look forward to getting to know you and completing this journey together. So if you have any other questions, reach out, but otherwise go ahead and get started on week 1. Bye-bye.